Hi, I'm Dr. Dave, and welcome to the Good Life Lab, where we explore and experiment with tools, tips, and techniques for improving our mental health and well-being, just trying to get a little bit healthier and happier. I'm a therapist, former college professor, and a new content creator. You'll see on this channel, you'll see a few different themes, and one of them is around how YouTube, if YouTube can change your life. I'm taking kind of Ali Abdaal, who's one of the leading YouTubers in the field of productivity and YouTube training. And so I'm going to be taking some of his advice, and one of his key kind of messages is that YouTube can change your life. So I'm going to take him up on that challenge for this year and see how it changes my life. So I'm monitoring a number of things in my stats for YouTube and also my personal life to see how things change over this year. So you'll see a lot of that throughout this channel as well. So like I said, I'm going to try to provide kind of 3 different segments here today. The first is how my YouTube channel is doing and stats around that, what I'm learning as a new content creator. So I'll share a bit about that first, and then I'll get into some personal stats, just how I'm doing related to my health and well-being. And then third, I'm going to get into just some highlights of the week. I'm trying to track, as a mental health and well-being practice, the highlights of the week, not just the things that go wrong in my week. So that I'll end off with that. So as I begin to share my stats for the week, I'm going to try to do each segment 3 minutes or less, just to keep things concise and moving. So the first segment is YouTube stats. So I'm going to walk you through where I am at the end of week 2. It's been almost exactly 2 weeks since I posted my first video, and you can see some of the stats there. It's going okay. I just have basically 1 subscriber. Well, it says 2 subscribers this week, but both of them are me. So the first one is it's just me for my channel, and then the second one is from another device that I just subscribed to myself to see if it worked, and it did. So, and you see my views go up some. I'll share that's my screen with you about how those stats are going. And again, this is just a kind of an experiment for me this year to see where things can go as a transition from my career as a therapist and teaching to just working on content creation. So I'm doing kind of both right now. I've scaled quite a bit back on my counseling and coaching practice, and just to focus on this. So you'll see some of those stats as I get launched. So one of the key lessons I've learned or trying to put into practice this week, both from Ali Abdaal and his training, his YouTube advice, and from others, is to do your thumbnail and title before you even create something, just to make sure you have a sense of focus. That really is helping me to do that first. So I spent, probably 20 minutes this morning and maybe even longer in previous days just thinking about what I want to talk about in this video and how to kind of package it. So that's one of the key lessons I'm learning and that I'm trying to do with that. And practically, one of the tools that I've found that is very, very helpful with that, it's called vidIQ. There's a feature, and I'll show you on the screen, that allows you to identify keywords and then also create thumbnails using AI. So it's really fascinating how it's working for me, and I'll show you a couple examples of how I've done that, and they also show you kind of ratings and how YouTube might look at it and rank it. So very useful tool, vidIQ. So I'd recommend that. There's a free version that you can try out. I've bought into it, so I'm not getting any kickbacks yet from it. But it's been very, very, very helpful for this week. In terms of personal stats, one of the main things I'm trying to track is my physical health. And I'm just doing one thing right now to monitor that, is my BMI, which apparently has gone up this week. So I gained 1 pound from the last time, or 2 pounds from the last time I weighed myself. So it's been maybe a couple weeks. So my goal is to have a healthier BMI. I'm taking pictures of myself each week on Fridays over this year, and just to see, I may share those pictures at some point, kind of before and after, or how I'm doing along the way. Maybe some things that I'm doing to help with that physical part of my life. But for now, it's not going well.
much do you weigh, Ross? I prefer not to answer that right now. I'm still carrying a little holiday weight.
I think it's the holidays. My birthday's coming up, so I'm not as careful as I might be. So I'm focused this week and just kind of bringing my weight down a little bit more. And then over this year, I want to drop at least 10 pounds. So we'll see how all that goes. I'm going to be tracking that this year. The other thing I'm tracking is my mental health and well-being, to a couple of reasons, just to monitor things, see how I'm doing, but also to see how this year of YouTube content creation is affecting me. So I've done a number of tests, and I'll share with those below, through a website called Authentic Happiness. It's a positive psychology website. It helps you kind of measure where you are in different areas of well-being and happiness. And so I've taken several tests that I'm going to maybe check in quarterly with myself, but also do a weekly wheel of life assessment that monitors kind of a quick snapshot of how you're doing in different areas of your life: social, financial, relationship wise, and health wise. So I might be sharing that with you here on the screen as well, and do that maybe weekly. I'm going to see. So those are a couple stats of how I'm doing personally. And then the last segment for today is just highlights of the week. Like I said, I'm trying to do this to keep my mind focused on the good things, not just the disasters or things that kind of the negative things. It is wintertime, so winter blues kind of can set in. So I'm trying to just stay focused on that. Some of those practices, evidence-based practices that show that if you focus on kind of what goes well or what goes right for you during the day, that is a simple practice that can really shift your thinking and mindset and even your brain chemistry. So I'm trying to do that. And so one of the highlights for myself for this week seems like a small thing, but it's related to this other video I did about feeling a little down and depressed, partly because of the wintertime, but also because my thinking hasn't been very helpful lately around turning 60. So something happened that shifted that for me, both being practicing the cognitive behavioral technique I mentioned, and I'll show that. You can click on that video if you want to learn more about that and how that can help with depression. But also just something, my partner said he's planning something for my 60th. I wasn't sure of that before, because we did a huge trip last year for my 60th. So I wasn't sure what was happening, but I still want to mark the 60th milestone. And so he said, yeah, he's planning something for me in another week or so. So that was my highlight of the week, just hearing about that, just to be acknowledged in some way, or just to mark that milestone for myself and with my friends and people close to me, my partner. And the quote of the week actually is about curiosity from Einstein, one of the most popular that I'm aware of that he said. And we'll end with this for the week. He said, "I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious." So that's important to me, to be curious, to follow my curiosity. And it's good to know that that's something that Einstein also supports. So have a great week, and I'll be checking in with you early next week with additional content and on mental health and well-being practices. My main focus of the channel is really to provide challenges, weekly challenges that can be kind of instrumental in helping you shift your mindset a little bit and just focus on your well-being and experiment a little bit with how things are going. So look for that, hopefully Monday, Tuesday next week. If you're tracking with this channel, that's something to tune into. Have a great week.